We're going to look at the vocabulary now for asking questions. Agreement. When all sides of the negotiation agree, usually two sides, but it could be more than two sides, it could be three sides, they make a contract with specific terms. They accept each other's offers and counteroffers, so it's a positive conclusion. If a negotiation does not come to an agreement in the end, then it falls apart. There's no agreement. There's not really an opposite to agreement. There's just no agreement. In your negotiation, you can say, I really want us to come to an agreement. I want us to have an agreement before Wednesday. I hope we can come to an agreement today. Calm, peaceful, composed, relaxed. You can ask the other side to stay calm, to not show too much emotion. This is a way to help the other side relate to you and consider your demands. If their demands are too extreme, you can say, can you please stay calm? This signals that you're a little bit frustrated with their attitude. Conditional. Depends on, has requirements or restrictions. One side promises to do something, but it depends on something else first. You can graduate from school only conditional on passing your classes. It's conditional on that requirement. In negotiation, we often use this idea of conditional. I can give you a lower price, conditional on your purchasing more units. It's a great word to use inside your negotiation. Confrontational, hostile, aggressive, challenging when not agreeing to demands in the negotiation. We want somebody to stay calm if they're being very confrontational. Confrontational is usually a little bit extreme and emotional. Confrontational is something we want to avoid in a negotiation. Or, if the other side is being very confrontational, we may want to consider withdrawing. To fight back against a confrontational counterpart, you can come right out and say this to the other side. You can say, you're being very confrontational. If the other side doesn't heed your warning, you can threaten you're going to withdraw from this negotiation. Counteroffer. Changes requested to an offer before a deal can be made. You get an offer, but you want to change it, so you give a counteroffer. That's called a counteroffer. The reasons for a counteroffer usually include to help it become clear what you want. If I offer you a $10 price, you cannot just say, nope, that's no good. Because I don't know what you want. So you have to give me a counter offer. You say, my counter offer is $9.50. Now I know what you need. You will say, here's my counter offer. Generous. Giving something positive to the other side that they want. You can tell the other side that they're being generous, such as in an integrative negotiation. It's very unusual, however, in a negotiation that you would tell the other side they're being generous. So, it depends on the type of negotiation you're in. Inquire. Ask a question. So you can go ahead and say something like, I would like to inquire into your inventory amount. Do you have enough supply for us to buy this much? The verb inquire introduces your question. Leading. Ahead of or in front of, like when you walk your dog. Usually, walking your pet, your dog is leading you. Your dog is walking in front of you. That's called the dog is leading you. A leading question is a question that's not really a question, but an answer. For example, I can say, you want to have a lower price, don't you? You see, I already said the answer inside the question. So that's a leading question. Your quality can be better, can it? To counter this in your negotiation, just tell the other side. That's a leading question. You can just come out and tell them so. That's a leading question. I'm not going to answer that. Objection. Doubt, complain, oppose, disagree, or have a different perspective from your counterpart. The verb is object, as in I object. I have many objections is the noun. Another way you can use this is just ask your counterpart, what are your objections? You say you don't like this offer. Please tell me your objections. Open-ended, flexible, unrestricted, in this case about questions. A question with no clear question in it, it's open-ended. It's not a question with just a yes or no answer. An open-ended question is friendly to the counterpart to let them say what they think is important. Reasonable, affordable, logical, practical, sensible. another great word often used in negotiation. Reasonable means that the other side, or your side, is not asking for too much, not too extreme. It makes it easier to agree if both sides are reasonable. You can come right out and tell the other side, your request on this price is not reasonable. Your demand is not reasonable. And they could respond to that. For example, they could say, our demand is very reasonable. A great word to use in your negotiation. Reduction, a discount, decrease, saving, or cut. When you ask for something to go lower, you're asking for a reduction. How much of a reduction can you give us? This is the final reduction we can offer. We require at least 10% more reduction. Requirement, condition, constraint, obligation, things that have to be done. In your negotiation, you can use it very similar to prerequisite. This is a requirement. Our requirement is a price of $10.50 or lower. We can meet 2 of your 3 requirements. Revisit, reconsider, re-examine, think about again. A great word for negotiation means to do it again, to talk about it again. Usually, we revisit small parts of the negotiation. Your negotiation may have many parts: the product, the quantity, the shipping. We often agree on everything except one small thing. We can say, I need to revisit the shipping. Wait a minute, I think we need to revisit the shipping. We cannot accept this shipping. You cannot revisit the whole deal. This is just the whole negotiation. Unit, a single part, element, item. It's very important that you get your units clear. What is the price per how many units? If the 2 sides are thinking different units, sizes, and currency, the negotiation will not work. During the negotiation, you can just come out and ask about the units. Are we talking about per box? Does every box have 10 units? Is a unit a box or each individual product? Unresolved, not decided, unsettled, unclear. As you get towards the end of the negotiation, you solve more and more issues. There may be 1 or 2 things left over and unresolved. You want the negotiation to keep moving. try not to get stuck on a single issue. Issues that get stuck can be skipped at first. Save the hard problems for later. These unresolved problems can be negotiated toward the end. You can say, there is one unresolved problem, and we need to talk about it now.